Yes, Rima.
Okay, Rima is on the show, and Rima started a firestorm of stuff that happened with a video that came out on the last week, and this video was of an R&B singer by the name of Bobby Valentino. Now, Bobby Valentino, you may know him from the song "Slow Down." I barely know the nigga at all, but they say he's some kind of celebrity, so we're gonna go with that. Anyway, Bobby Valentino was caught with his proverbial pants down, and we're going to show you that right now.
Bobby was then put on blast and recorded.
Bobby video. Back up from me. Back up.
How far is it?
Bobby put his clothes on fast, though. That nigga got dressed with quickness. I don't know what the fuck. That nigga's like Superman something.
You got your shoes and your keys. If you want it back, bring me some money. Call me so I can tell you the price, Bobby V. Don't run, Bobby Valentino. Come here.
All right, now, Rima, you got to tell me. First off, why you kept saying that nigga name like that? You wrong for that nigga name out. Well, walk us through it. What happened? Because there's been a lot of stuff put out there, including by him and other people around him. So you tell us from your own mouth what happened.
Okay, so a little bit about the situation. I don't want to go into full details because a lot of times I haven't even released the statement publicly. But what I will say is that, in fact, indeed, as you all see, that is Bobby V. Next, what I can say is that.
Yeah, you're breaking out. You're breaking up on me. I hate that. You're breaking up on me. Like literally, you frozen. Crap. You frozen on screen, and your voice was going. Like damn it. What kind of Wi-Fi you want?
I'm on good Wi-Fi, and I have 4 bars, so I don't know what's going on.
It's supposed to be clearer than this. Well, anyway, go ahead and tell us exactly. I know it's some things you don't want to get into, maybe legalities or maybe something you're trying to bring down the line. But yes, it is him, and he's admitted it was him. Tell us what you can tell us that led up to this even being something that you would record.
Let me just say this. Everything that's going on in the media, don't believe everything you hear. A lot of times the counterpart or the counter argument, which will be me, I have not released the truth yet for this very reason. Like you said, legalities and certain things that's been going on. But I do want to say that, during this situation, I've seen articles about extortion that's been released by his camp. And let me just touch that topic. With those things, this was not an extortion case. Some things are unseen that I have not released to the public. I have not given everything to the public. I haven't even given my side of the story yet. So be it. What I have done is put out videos via counter-arguing the things about extortion. With the dynamics of the case of extortion, those things will be taken away once I give my side of the story. I just have not given my side of the story due to legalities, like you said, and certain things that's enabling me not to say so much. But what I can say is that the event did happen at my home. Bobby Valentino was at my home. What you see on the video is not the full video because the full video has not even been released. But the media has put out a video of only media conversation released. There's still a full video release. There's so many things that have not been released. So right now it's looking like, okay, Rima is trying to set this man up or extortion, but a lot of things have not been released.
Okay. Now in the video, and I hate that we're doing this. We may have to redo this another time when you're in a better area. But from what we're seeing in the video, and ladies and gentlemen, this is Rima, the individual who was involved with the whole Bobby Valentino thing. When you decided to release this, what was going through your mind? Why did you want to release this?
Can I be honest with you?
That's what I'm hoping.
And that's all I'm going to be. I'm genuine. I'm honest. I'm real. That's one thing I've always been. So the video.
Go ahead.
Okay, you said what was going through my mind.
Yeah. What made you decide to want to release this to the public?
Those are things that will come out in the description of the truth. Those are things that will come out in the description of the full video. Those are things that will come out in the messages. Those are things that will come out fully once everything has hit the fan, the surface, where it's like, okay, now it's time for Rima to talk. Now it's time for Rima to give exactly what went down. Now it's time for Rima to give the ins and the outs. Now it's time. I have not given that because he's still going on with his case. Things are still being brought out by media sites and blog sites. So I'm waiting until all that, excuse my language, shit hits the fans, you know? So while they're doing that, then I'm on my way to give, okay, well, here's the truth. Here's the proof of it.
Okay, so I got to ask you this question then. He says he did not know that you were a transsexual. We got to start out by asking the question, do you have the full package or have you went through the operation?
I'm a transgender woman. I don't hide that I'm a transgender. I'm very open about who I am. I didn't become a transgender to hide. I became a transgender to let the world know. I'm open about it. You know, there's nothing to hide. Why try to change into another gender, try to evolve, try to be something that you've always wanted to be, to hide that? I'm proud of who I am. So everything is always open about who I am, about being a transgender.
I guess my only question is, because I still don't understand, maybe I'm behind in the times. I'm just wondering, do you have the... it's a simple question. T.S. Madison's been on my show, and she said, hey, well, I guess it was something that's already been known. She's the big dick bitch, and she always comes on and says she's got the package, so nobody can lie. Do you actually have the package of what a woman would have, or do you still have what you were born with?
I'm pre-op.
Okay.
Which means before the surgery has happened.
Okay, so he knew this going prior into it, yay or nay?
I can't speak on what he did and didn't know, but what I can speak on is I'm very open about who I am. I don't hide that.
Okay, now
I'm open about it.
His people are trying to say once he realized you were what you were, he was trying to leave. Do you agree or disagree with that?
Say it one more time. You was breaking up. I apologize.
Okay. Yeah, once he realized you were not who you were, or who he thought you were, which was a woman, he was leaving. That was what you guys caught. That was what his people are saying. That's what we caught. Do you agree or disagree?
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you take off all your clothes if you didn't know what the person really was?
I can be honest, as you said. I've taken off all my clothes before a woman was undressed. I'm just assuming it was a woman. I have assumed every woman I've been with was a woman. I think I would be traumatized if I done took off my clothes and then the woman took off her clothes and she, you know, she had the same thing I had. I think I would be traumatized. So yeah, I've actually done it to where I've taken off my clothes first because I like to establish this is what we doing. We ain't gonna play no games because I'm too old to go in the house and play around. It is what it is. When I pull out the sausage, it is what it is. So yes, okay. I've done it.
And they always said when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me, and assumptions are never the best thing to do. So that's why I'm going to let people assume what they think the truth is until I release the truth.
No, I'm not assuming anything. I'm just telling you what he said. Remember, I'm having you on the show. So I'm saying his camp said this. You can either say you agree or disagree with what the statement his camp said, that he did not know you were what you were, and as soon as he found out, that was why he was leaving. Is this true or false?
With the unseen proof, the story and the answer will be given.
Well, I'm kind of confused at what I'm doing because I'm trying to interview you to find something out, and just let's be perfectly honest here. Now I'm starting to feel a little certain kind of way because I paid for this interview. If I pay for an interview, if somebody can tell me I'm not going to say anything, then what am I speaking with? Now I'm starting to get a bit offended.
I'm not saying that I'm not.
Because I'm asking very general questions. I have not asked anything of you don't need to release this. That's a general question.
Okay. Well, let's say this. I disagree with all the accusations that have been put out by Bobby V's camp.
Because if you keep doing what's happening right now, then it starts to look like, well, maybe this is just a money grab from this person and anything that happens around this person. And I'm just trying to have just straight up giving a person an opportunity.
Yes, and I agree with that. So
yeah.
I disagree with whatever Bobby's Kim has put out so far. So far, the things they have put out are I disagree with. So far, the articles I've read, I disagree with.
All right.
The articles, the media blogs from his camp, I disagree.
So if you look back on what he's saying, though, the way this is starting to come out now is that maybe there's some legitimacy in what he said, which was, I did not know. Because a lot of brothers will frequent these back pages and things like that, and we will go on there and we will assume that this is what it is that we were buying. So we're thinking it's already, because the way it was put out was he refused to pay, and that's why there was this, well, I'm going to put him on blast, which is fair. But as I was always told, because I've frequented prostitutes alike and all of that crap, so I'm not going to sit up here and try to act like I'm not. That being said, you have to give them money up front. What went wrong on that aspect of where normally normally they take money up front?
Well, like I said before, a lot of things that the media put out in there is not true. A lot of times the media will hype up stories to give you the juice, to get people tuned in. So it was easy for me. It's easy to say transgender prostitution case, transgender escort case, because they feel like that's a global universal job that transgenders will do.
And
in this instance,
that's why we're trying to get more of, or I'm trying to get more of that's why I'm trying to get more of an understanding from you of what actually happened. Like I said, I was just able to say what my dirt and background is because it's the fucking truth, and I don't mind telling the damn truth, and I didn't dance around it. And I've noticed that every time I've done anything like that, the woman isn't gonna let me get it first without paying. It just ain't going down. I'm not gonna get naked without it. So unless I'm on an actual date with the woman, it's usually going to be, here's the money, here's the situation, everybody go home about their business. Something went wrong here. What went wrong?
To you, sir, this is not a prostitution nor escort case.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, so it was...
But what the media has released is prostitution escort case. But my truth hasn't came out, so right now I'm like, okay, well, maybe he's right. Maybe it's legitimate. You know what I'm saying? Because it's only a one-sided story. So it's like, okay, well, Rima hasn't said much about it. So it may be true. You know, a lot of things that he's saying, okay, well, maybe we can agree. Maybe Bobby's, was this. And then when the second story comes out from my end, then it's going to give, okay, now let's put pieces together. Because now right now you only have one side of the story. But I can answer the question and say it wasn't a prostitution nor escort case.
Okay, let me ask you this question then. There have been several other videos. Is he known for frequenting or wanting to be with transsexuals?
Now, see, this has all been new to me. Now, since this, it seems like more and more transgenders have came out with cases about Bobby Valentino. So I'm starting to think maybe this is a trend for him. I'm not sure, but I did not know anything prior to me and him meeting. I'm just finding this all out by the media, but you can't believe everything you hear. But from what I'm reading, I'm just now finding out that, all these transgenders are coming out of anywhere.
No. I think you're freezing up on me again. Let me ask you this, and I don't know if you can hear me or not. How long have you lived your life as a transgendered woman? How long have you been in?
I'm going on 10 months into my transition.
Okay, so just for 10 months, you've been living this life, and you met him, since you said it's not a prostitution case, you guys met on like a personal basis. Then, if it's not that, then it's a personal basis. You guys met on a personal basis, yes.
Okay.
Is yes or no?
Oh, yes.
Okay,
I'm sorry. I apologize.
So you guys met on a personal basis. It was about to go down, and it's still there has to be a disconnect somewhere to where he would leave his keys, his wallet, and at the end you were asking him, you were bringing up money. So if it was just a personal situation and there was no prostitution, maybe you can explain why at the end you were asking for money.
I can't speak on his personal items right now because of legalities, and I can't speak on sexual certainties that's been brought up because of legalities. So that's a topic that I can't touch on right now.
Okay, I just have to address the fact that if you don't touch it, we do have to understand that an audience is saying, we heard you ask for money at the end, so that's where the extortion would appear to have some legs if you are from his camp, because you'd say, well, if this was a personal incident, because there's been girls I had to kick the shit out of my house, but I didn't hold their stuff hostage. they get to take their stuff with them. You left my house because you and I weren't getting along. You pissed me off. I pissed you off. You get your shit though. I've never said to them while I'm recording them, if you want your hat, shirt, shoes, and keys, give me some money. So that may be one you're going to have to get around. With that being said, and especially with me thinking of where we are right now with what I'm asking, because I'm starting to feel a little bit weirded about just small technical direct questions that I'm having an issue getting an answer to. So I will ask you this then. When it comes to him, had this been the first encounter that you guys had together? That you've been together?
You're breaking up. I'm sorry.
Okay. Was this you guys' first time? Was this you guys' first time being in each other's presence?
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I heard when you said presence, but I didn't hear the beginning part of presence.
I said, is this you guys? If this you guys' first time being in each other's presence?
Correct.
Okay, so this was the first meeting, so there's a chance, and as you stated in the beginning, kind of not directly, but it sounds like there's a chance he would not have known, especially if you've only been living this way for 10 months, that he would not have known.
But I expressed to you earlier that I don't hide who I am. You know, I expressed to you earlier that I'm proud of my transition. I don't hide me being a transgender. That's just me. I don't hide that.
So then we can just ask a simple question, because I don't like dancing around stuff, especially if we were brought here for a reason. So I'm going to ask a direct question. Did he know before he disrobed that you were a transgender? That's a yes or no question.
Yes.
All right. So now we're getting somewhere. He knew about this. I'll ask you this question. As living as a transgender and having transgender friends, is this something that a lot of celebrities that we probably wouldn't even know about? And when I ask you to put out names out there, because I wouldn't put out names of the celebrity women I fucked. I can just tell you I fucked some of them. That's the difference. Is this something that a lot of guys who we wouldn't even know who come from the industry, they partake in? And T.S. Madison talked about how a lot of guys you would know do what they do have done it with T.S. So I'll ask you, is this something you've noticed that a lot of people in the industry are doing, but trying to hide at the same time?
I think it's with any guys, not just celebrities. I think that a lot of times you have down low guys. It's human nature. It's what happens. It's life. And I feel like you can't fault a guy for having an infatuation with transgender women. You can't fault a guy for having a curiosity. You can't fault guys for that. You know, what you like is what you like. So I don't hold that against anybody.
Is that more of what it is, though? Is it more of like a curiosity? Because let me say this to you. A lot of people have been saying about you. You've been getting, and you can tell me what you've gotten the most. I've heard Kelly Rowland. I've heard Keisha Cole. I remember said she looked better than my baby mama. Like, so is that what you're getting? Guys looking at you and saying, this is an attractive woman, and then a curiosity happens when they find out that you're not a woman?
I get that all the time, you know. I didn't transition to look like a man, you know. You transition to look like a woman. So it's kind of like, okay, well, why would I transition and still want to look like a man? So, of course, I'm not like a man. My voice might not be the best, you know, I know that. But I transitioned to look, the physical appearance to be a woman. So I can understand why guys or people have said I look like this, look like that, because I transitioned to be a woman now. My celebrity look-alike, I can't help that my transition turned out to look like them. But I transitioned, my first step was the physical appearance of a woman.
Mm-hmm. So, I'm always curious, at what point in your life, because I know a lot of transgenders will say that they felt like they were born in the wrong body. When did this happen to you? When did you realize this or think this way?
Great question. I've always felt womanly. I was raised in a single household, so it wasn't really easy for me to actually want to transition in the household of my mother's. I felt like it was more appropriate and more respectful to transition when I can do it in my own home, when I can be on my own. I'm very respectful about my family. I'm very respectful of my mother. So I felt like it was best if once I got out the house that I could go ahead and transition to who I always wanted to be. I didn't want to transition at home in front of my little sisters. I have two younger sisters. I didn't want to transition in front of my mother. I didn't want to have to, take the hormonal pills and the therapy and the counseling in front of my mother. I didn't want to go through all that in my mother's home because at that time, my mother, paid for everything I had because I was living in her home. I was her child. But once I was able to provide for myself, have my own stability and my own home, I was able to do it because I had my own. Nobody could tell you something once you're grown. So I feel like it was more appropriate to do it then.
No, look, I've been on Huffington Post, and people talk a lot of shit about me. Guys, if you're watching, make sure you click the like button to let everybody know that you're enjoying the show. Don't treat me like a side bitch. Click that damn like button. It's 4,000 of you motherfuckers right now watching. It should be about 4,000 damn likes. Get it in, get it in. All right, let me ask this question of you. When you decided to go through the change, you said that you came from a single-parent household. People go off on me and say that I've brought something out which is pointing to single-parent households where these young males are seeing a lot of feminine energy from mothers to aunts. I grew up in a household with a whole bunch of women. There were no guys. What is your relationship with your father?
Okay. Let me speak about this because my phone is, going down on the charge, and I can't really hear you unless I have these earphones in, so I'm going to speak about what you said. My relationship with my father is, growing up, I didn't have my father in my life. My father was very distant in my life. My father wasn't around. So all I knew was my mother. My mother was my mother and my father. The single parent household, I feel like it built me to be stronger because you look at your mom, who is a spitting image of who you want to be, and you see how she handles things. So I feel like I built my strength, not from my father, which i.e. in human life, you're supposed to build it from your father. I built it from my mother because my mother gave me the strength to fight against these negative comments that's going on right now. My mother gave me the strength to hold my head up high and still go on despite what people are saying about me because my mother did this by herself. So she always taught me that you come in this world by yourself, you're going to die by yourself, you're going to do this by yourself. So none of these comments or anything has really affected me because I'm very strengthened in my mother and I'm very biblical about things. And I look to things and I say, they always say that what God gives his hardest battles to his strongest soldiers. And what doesn't kill you can only make you stronger. I'm a believer in Jesus Christ. Despite what the media has put out, that's the devil. And that's why I've been waiting to hold my truth because I want to change the dynamic of what's very going on with the situation. So growing up in a single parent household, it's built me stronger. It's built me more talented. I've been more talented because my mother was in it for her own, so she taught me how to find my talent on my own. She taught me how to find my personality on my own. She taught me how to, build myself on my own because she did it on her own. So I feel like the beauty of being a single parent household is amazing because you learn so much.
What did you think about what Little Duval said? Little Duval, what he said. What did you think about that?
I think that it was inappropriate that he had said anything about killing someone. I thought it was inappropriate about he said anything about, death upon someone. That was inappropriate. Mm-hmm. Now, I can understand how he may feel, but as a celebrity and whoever his PR is you should have known certain things you should and shouldn't. Part of the trans community was probably some of his fans. He lost so many of his fan base because of his commentary. You could have made your commentary better and made your fan base go up had you respected those that are in, because it's not just heterosexuals that are watch Lil Duval and hear his comedian or commentate. It's others. So his commentary was off. I didn't agree with what he said and how he said it. It was, I heard what he said. I heard the situation, but his delivery was awful.
All right. Now that you say that, can you not understand where a guy would come from, though? Because I've heard girls say, if a guy give me herpes or STD, I'll kill him. I've heard women say, I think that's normal talk. We've all said what he said, which was, if you do something, and that's a big something, because in the hip-hop community, in the black community. In the black community, the whole idea of being called gay, I get called faggot all the time for no dadgum reason. People tell me I'm a tranny chaser and all this shit, and they've never seen me with any of these things. So it is a thing that can harm your career. And so what he says, do you not see why he would say, look, why a person would lie to me like this? Look at what is happening with Usher. Usher's having to pay people.
But certain things are better left unsaid. You have to understand when you're in the limelight like Lil Duval and you want to keep the fan base that you have, why display that type of commentary to the public?
I agree.
If you have certain people that follow you, why display that, because not only have you lost the trans community, you're losing the LGBT community. which were very much in your corner, why even mess up that? Come on now, think smart, think positive. People have, that's even people, I'm not even famous, and people ask me, well, why have you not responded to the negative comments, Reba? Because you have to understand that there are still some that support me. So why should I mess up the support that I have attacking someone that's being negative? It makes no sense.
Now, you pointed out something, and you said damn near word for word the same thing T.S. Madison said, which is in a way kind of validating my argument, but I'll ask you to elaborate. If a male child says, I wanted to grow up to be like my mom, and I'll ask you, do you have any other siblings?
Yes, I do. I have 2 younger sisters.
Okay, so you have 2 sisters. So in your household, it was you, 2 sisters, your mom, probably a grandma, and some aunts. So you had a lot of women, and you have a reverence for women. So much so that you decided that you wanted to transition into one of them. Do you think that the lack of having the masculine figures in your household, the masculine people to look up to, which would make you then look at these others, because you're surrounded by feminine energy, do you think that could have contributed to the route you took?
I can say that. My characteristics are...
Uh-oh, yeah, you broke up. You broke up a lot. Say it again.
I can agree with that.
Damn it. You said you can agree with it, but the voice is going out, in and out, and I hate this. You're not moving at all anymore. I could hear you, but it sounds like it's robotic, and you're not moving anymore.
Well, if they mess always down for a part, I'm down for it.
Say what?
I say that's all too.
Yeah, here's what we'll do. We'll stop it now until you can get back home. Let's say tomorrow.
Okay.
Or whenever you can get back home in a stable place where we can get a better connection. Because I have a few other questions that I'd like to ask, and I think it would be awesome just to know your transition, where you come from, and even to get off the Bobby beat, just to get onto what I was asking there. So we can come back.
Perfect.
We come back and do that. And what I'm going to do is, at the end of this, I'm going to allow you guys to call in. So I'm going to open up the lines and let you guys call in, give your thoughts on what you heard and what you guys would like for us to talk about on the second show when Rima comes back tomorrow. So that's cool?
All right. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right. Thank you for coming on to the show.